So are you looking to move to the Seattle metropolitan area and want to know the best areas to purchase in the $500,000 price range? Well, stay tuned. This video, I'm going to tell you the best neighborhoods to get the best bang for your buck in Seattle. Hey everybody, this is Tova Williamson. I am a local real estate agent here in the Seattle area. On this channel, we shoot tons of videos of what it's like to live in the Seattle metropolitan area. So if those are videos you want more of, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so that you'll be notified every time a new video comes on. So we honestly get reach outs every day from people that are moving and relocating to the area, and we absolutely love hearing from you guys and we love helping you. But we can't help unless you call or email or text. So reach out to us if you're moving or relocating to Seattle, and we'll help you. Give us a call, email, text. We got your back when you're moving to Seattle. Okay, so today in this video, we're going to talk about the best areas to buy in the $500,000 price range. I'm going to talk about Seattle metropolitan area, kind of the suburbs as well, just because $500,000 in Seattle proper is really not going to get you that far. So we kind of have to expand out to show you where you can kind of get the best deal for $500,000. So the first area we are going to talk, I'll just talk a little bit about Seattle proper. If you're in that $500,000 price range, you're going to be looking at a condo, more than likely, either in kind of like the Belltown, downtown Queen Anne, kind of Capitol Hill area. Belltown, we've got kind of like Pike Pine, First Hill, Queen Anne. That's where a lot of condos are in the Seattle area. That's like the largest concentration. There are some more up around Green Lake, and even further north, even Northgate. So I mean, pretty much the $500,000 price point is going to get you maybe 1-2 bedroom condo, depending on your neighborhood in Seattle, maybe probably around 1,000 square feet, maybe a little bit less. It all depends on where you are. So $500,000, you're not going to get a ton. You can find single family homes in Seattle in the $500,000 price range. That's going to be kind of more this like West Seattle White Center area. And even some areas down here in Rainier Valley, Rainier Beach, and like Skyway, that's where most of the single family homes are going to be. You're looking probably at like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, very small square footage, probably like 900 or less, like really small homes. Definitely older, probably going to need some repairs, things like that. So, but some people are really like specific about wanting to stay in Seattle proper. So if that's where you're thinking that you want to stay, and you want a single family home, those are the neighborhoods you're going to be looking at. Some areas, West Seattle, this bridge right here is currently closed. It's set to open September 18th. So that's like a couple weeks away. It's been closed for like 2 years now. And so everybody in West Seattle has to drive all the way down south to cross over here and then come all the way back up. So it's been a real big pain living over there, or if you have to get to West Seattle. So that's something to keep in mind. But the bridge is supposed to be reopening. If you know anything about Seattle, things take way longer than they actually ever tell you. So right now, that's what we're hearing. September 18th, it's supposed to open. Haven't heard anything to the contrary yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that stays that way. So that's going to open up West Seattle to the rest of the city again. So just definitely different lifestyles in Seattle for $500,000. You're either going to be living like that condo, urban walkability lifestyle. If you want more of a single family house, a little more space, you're going to be in either West Seattle or even like southern parts of Seattle. So number 2 area that I think is a good area for that price range is Maple Valley. So that's right down here. It's like southeast Seattle. Maple Valley's definitely a more bedroom community. It was pretty much like created as a suburb of Seattle for people to live and commute into Seattle. So this area is mostly like very suburban. You're going to need a car there. It does have some pretty highly rated schools in the area though. So if you have a family and you're worried about school ratings, Maple Valley does have some good school ratings there. For about $500,000, you're going to find maybe like 2 to 3 bedroom ramblers, like single story homes. There's a lot of new construction out there, but again, new construction, like larger homes are going to be in like the 7, 8, 9 and upwards price range. This area has kind of exploded a lot recently, just with prices in Seattle going up, people are moving out. So one thing to keep in mind too here, if you're living in Maple Valley, the commute to Seattle is a little like it's not like it's right along I-5 to where you can just like zip on up I-5. So you've got these like, they're still freeways technically, but they're like smaller, like single lane or maybe just 2 lanes. So that's the one thing to keep in mind in Maple Valley. There's not a ton of public transit here. And then the commute, I mean, if there's even like a tiny fender bender on any of these like freeways into Seattle, it just like ruins traffic for the day because they are so small. So that's just something to keep in mind. But depending on where, you're working, if you're working from home, even better, then you don't have to worry about commuting. But Maple Valley is kind of a little more centrally located, like even people who live up in or who are working in Bellevue too, or Redmond, you can get up there, or Seattle on a good day, no traffic, you're looking at like 45 minutes probably. So to get into Seattle, so it's a little bit longer, but that area you can definitely find larger homes, and it's just a little bit more like quiet paced lifestyle in Maple Valley. So number 2 area, we're going south more. We've got like Federal Way in Tacoma. This area, you can get a lot more bang for your buck. Federal Way and Tacoma both have had kind of, not the best reputation over the years of being kind of like sketchy areas. You'll hear people talk about it a lot. I mean, it's still true. The crime rates are definitely higher there than some areas. But they're both areas that are kind of like getting a little bit more fixed up, a little bit nicer, especially like Federal Way. If you start getting closer to the water, you're going to see less of the crime rates over there. But you can get some pretty good, like large homes for $500,000 in Federal Way and Tacoma. Tacoma, you're going to get some of the more urban environment. There's some of the more neighborhoody areas in Tacoma. So if you're wanting that walkability, walk to coffee, things like that, you can still find pretty decent homes in Tacoma for $500,000. They're going to probably be a little older, maybe historical, maybe been fixed up a bit, but you're looking at probably around 2-bedroom, maybe 1-bath houses, maybe even a little bit bigger, 1,800 square feet in Tacoma, just depending on the neighborhood that you're in. One thing too to keep in mind in Federal Way and Tacoma, the light rail is set to be expanded down to this area. Right now it goes pretty much to the airport along I-5, but it will be going down further into Tacoma. It's still like pretty far out. I think it's like 2025, 26, but it is something that is on the radar. So that's an area that if you're going to be commuting into Seattle, you can live down there, hop on that light rail. I think the light rail opening up down there will also help property values. So something to keep in mind if you're moving into that area. The next one we're going to talk about, we're going to go west over. So here's Seattle downtown. We've got Kitsap County, which is most of this area. Over here, you've got Bainbridge, Bremerton, Port Orchard, even like Poulsbo, Kingston area. So these areas, your money's going to go a lot farther. Bremerton, you can still get a pretty decent like 3-4 bedroom house that's like 2,500 square feet for $500,000, sometimes even with a water view. So definitely get way more for your money there. The only thing is you're going to be commuting. If you're commuting into Seattle, you're going to be commuting by ferry, or they have a fast ferry. So you can still drive around, but you've got to go down here all the way through Tacoma and around. So it can take a long time to drive, especially in traffic. But if you are open to the ferries, then it can be a really nice way to commute. I actually live over here and it's like great. You just hop on the ferry, you don't have to deal with traffic. You can stare at the beautiful scenery, drink a beer, a glass of wine on your way home from work. So it's pretty nice. You're just like in that schedule of ferries. So you've got the Bainbridge ferry and the Bremerton ferry, both are an hour, or I'm sorry, the Bremerton ferry is an hour, Bainbridge is 30 minutes. Bainbridge Island, you're not going to find much for $500,000. It's kind of closer to Seattle prices. Just, I think the shorter ferry commute is like made it more popular. So 500,000, you'll probably find there's some little condos there, but everything else, it's pretty much like $1 million plus in Bainbridge. But most other areas in Kitsap around here, you can definitely find good deals for $500,000. So some areas to keep in mind in this Kitsap County is like you get some of the more town vibe in Bremerton and even Poulsbo and Port Orchard, but it can kind of be some rural living out here too. So some parts of down here, like Manchester and Southworth, you get a lot larger lots, more wooded, a lot more private. So if that's your vibe and you want to kind of like get away from it all, then that could be a good area too. So another thing to go back on the ferries, you can take your cars on the ferries, the regular ferries, but they also have the Kitsap fast ferries that go from Bremerton here, Southworth into Seattle, and then they just open one up in Kingston that goes in. So those are about like 30 minutes. They're much faster. They're just walk on only. So those have been like a big thing for commuters that are commuting into Seattle. It's a lot shorter. If you're working like right downtown in Seattle and you don't need a car, you can hop on those fast ferries and get into Seattle pretty quick. So definitely over here, you get way more bang for your buck. It's kind of nice. You're a little bit closer to nature. You've got like the Olympic National Forest and just a lot more like naturey things over here, which is really cool. But you've got like ferry life. It is like a definite lifestyle, the ferry life. You like memorize those ferry schedules, you miss it. I mean, you can drive around or you just have to wait. So definitely, that's not for everyone. And then the last we're going to talk about is the East Side. That's like Bellevue, Woodinville, Redmond, Issaquah. This area, I'm not going to say that you're going to get the most bang for your buck there, but it is a really desirable area to live in. A lot of people that I help and that I call are moving to this area always want to live like in Bellevue on the East Side. The schools are very highly rated over there. So people want to get in for the schools, crime rate's low, but houses, it's like very, very expensive. So $500,000, you're going to be looking at condos, like really small condos in the area. Single family homes, even for like junkie fixers, are $1 million. So if you want to, if it's worth it for you to live in this area, to be a part of this area, to have the schools, $500,000, you're going to be looking at definite condos in that area. So there you have it. I'd say kind of the best bang for your buck for 500,000, probably more like Maple Valley, even Kitsap County, or like Tacoma Pierce County. As far as like getting single family homes, Seattle, East Side, you want to stick in that $500,000. But if location is really important to you, you're going to be looking at condos in the 500,000 price range. So moving to a new area can be really tough, especially if you don't know the specifics of the neighborhoods in the area, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help. If you're relocating or moving to Seattle, give us a call, email, text. We got your back when moving to Seattle.